So we have decided to take one of the dollar store tests. We've got our whole setup here. I'm about to have hubby come and do the honors. He likes doing it. Maybe to clean our mirror. Honeycomb?
Amen. How you want me to do it?
Amen. Yeah. You usually do it.
Yeah, you usually do it, man. Hey, that was a bad one.
What do you mean? Oh, bad drop. You better hurry.
And put one.
Don't put too much. So the test was negative, which is okay because, you know, at this point I'm only 3 days missed. So at this point I'm either going to start bleeding or I'm going to get a positive test soon. So the important part is, you know, when you get a negative test like that, is just stay positive and stay encouraged, and just knowing that, you know, if the test is positive, bless the Lord, and if the test is negative, bless the Lord, because now you've got more time to prepare. So
But on a more, is two ways to look at it too. Plenty of people get false negatives all the time. Plenty of people.
we had a false negative.
Yeah, and that she was 2 days late. Was it 2 days at that time?
I was either 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days. If she exceeds, if she exceeds today, if she exceeds, today's Thursday, she gets all the way past Thursday and she's into Friday and still doesn't have a period, that's the longest she's gone without a period. So at that point, I'm talking about any cycle she's ever had, that's the longest she's gone without being, like, if she would have to be pregnant, because that's the only thing I can think of where something's going on. So exceed the time frame that you've exceeded before. Basically, if your period hasn't come in 2 days, exceed 3 or 4. If your period hadn't come in 4 days, exceed 4 or 5. Because what you're doing there is you're testing your body to see its limits, and that's really the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, don't take a pregnancy test. You've gone 3 days without your period and then had one, but you decide to take the test on your day one. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, give yourself time, give yourself a minute. That's how it works. I found it that works that way. So her and I were probably going to test again around day 5 or 6 of her missed period, because then she missed it. I mean, for all intents and purposes, her period is over.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, people's periods do shift, all that other stuff, but I mean, just be patient. And if you did the right thing the couple weeks before you hit the ovulation, you hit it, then just be patient. I mean, either it's there or it's not. And if it's not, go to the doctor, see why your period was late. They'll probably tell you it's normal. But, other than that, just stay positive, and That's it. So.
And I go into tests just thinking about what Daniel said. If not, he's still good. If not, he's still good. So you kind of have to go in with that mindset.
Oh, I didn't even know that alarm was on. Thank you. Thank you.
You beeping, bro. Okay. So I just kind of go in with the mindset that, you know, either way I'm gonna be blessed. You know, either way it's all going towards the plan that God has for me, and it's all going towards my destiny. So positive test or a negative, and that's kind of how I get through it. You know, because if I broke down with every negative test, you know, I would have broken down over a year ago. So anyway, we've got to go ahead and get back on the prayer line. And
but wait, one more thing before we go. My mother actually, when she had me, she went to the doctor and they said she wasn't pregnant literally all the way up until her period was over. This is a point that's important. All the way up until my mother's period was over.
She had her period with you, didn't she?
Yes, that's the thing. Her period actually started. She was pregnant with me for 2 or 3 months. Her period came, but she was pregnant with me the whole time. Negative test the whole time until she went to the doctor and they had to do a blood test to prove that it was positive. So don't get discouraged over a negative pregnancy test. If your period does not come, go to the doctor. Love you too. Good night.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Love you too. Sorry, that was a prayer line. We'll put the number right here. My mother went through that, and plenty of women have gone through it where their period doesn't come. They're like, whoopsie poopsie, I guess my period just didn't come. No, you're probably pregnant. So, and that's the biggest thing right now, especially with you, if you guys are going through it, just be patient. Either you're gonna bleed or it ain't gonna come. And if it doesn't come, go to the doctor, get a blood test. Look at me, get a blood test. Don't just rely on a pregnancy test. They will not always be correct. Your HCG levels sometimes are not high enough to register, and that's actually not something to be afraid of.
A lot of HCG.
Some women don't produce a lot of HCG on the first few weeks of pregnancy.
I had a friend who couldn't get a positive test until like maybe 8 weeks in.
Yeah, plenty of women can't get positive pregnancy tests till 3 months in, 4 months in. So every woman is different. Do not use us as a measuring tool. Don't use my mother's story as a measuring tool. All you need to do is focus on your body. Say, okay, when is the longest I've gone without a period? 4 days? Okay. Well, if I know that 4 days is the longest my period was missed, but it started after those 4 days, maybe I should go 5, 6, or 7 before I take a pregnancy test. Today, like I said, is probably, I would say, the longest day she's gone without it, but her and I count differently. So it would be Friday morning when she would be past and she exceeded the longest she's gone without a period. That would be Friday morning. So Thursday, which is today, we're going to see how it goes. If there ain't no blood, ain't no nothing, then that's practically a week. So that, to me, that would be the longest. And then we probably go ahead and make an appointment. Why are you looking like that?
I mean, that's a few days.
That's a few days.
Start on Tuesday.
Right, but it's, if by Friday morning, like, that's 4 days. Yeah. And the longest you've gone, I remember, is, what, 2? Right? Something like that. But either way, just be aware of your own body. And most doctors tell you not to take a pregnancy test till a complete missed period. Right? So that's 7 days.
They change it up.
Or 4 days, however long your period is. So they change it up. But if you are just like, I know I'm feeling it, I'm feeling something's going on, I'm not feeling right, your symptoms aren't, the same like they usually are when your period is coming. This is weird coming from a guy, but being married, I know what the symptoms are by now. If they're not showing up, in fact, to be honest, I haven't seen some of her symptoms appear for her period.
I've been irritable.
That's normal though.
My breasts haven't been sore though.
No, they haven't been sore. Usually she starts browning. No brown.
I've had some bad gas.
Bad gas though. But no brown, nothing. I mean, I'm talking zero. So, like I said before,
Think about that.
another big thing too is that don't get wrapped up in what you do not see or what you do see. Don't get wrapped up in these. Don't say, well, my breasts aren't tender, so I must not be pregnant. Or the pregnancy test isn't positive, so I must not be pregnant. Or don't go at the same time and say, oh, I'm irritable, I must be pregnant. Or, what's another pregnancy symptom that's always false? Or not always, but that can be false.
Sore boobs, acne.
Oh, I'm breaking out, I must be pregnant. Like, don't ever...
Sometimes people's faces clear up.
Right, like, don't sit there and just look at every single thing that's happening and pick it apart and say, oh, this must be it. Because you're just you're on your way to Hurtsville. You're on your way to get your feelings hurt.
I haven't had a normal period since I started trying to get pregnant. When I got pregnant, my symptoms were pretty similar to what I go through with a regular period. After the miscarriage, my PMS completely changed. Before I got pregnant, I didn't get sore boobs. Like before the miscarriage, I didn't get sore breasts. Now, it's pretty much a given with every. So what I'm saying is that it changes, and a lot of the time it's emotional. It's psychological because, if you think of it spiritually, of course, once you start trying to get pregnant, the enemy's going to do whatever he can to thwart you, confuse you, and depress you. And there's nothing more depressing than having all of the pregnancy symptoms and not being pregnant. It just seems like you kind of got gypped.
Right.
And so that's why I say that a lot of the time that stuff it's psychological and it's spiritual. And I see it as it is. I call it out as it is, and I say, you know what?
Yeah, because
until I get a positive test or a positive blood test.
Yeah, because sometimes you gotta
God's gonna have to speak.
Sometimes you just gotta rebuke it. You know what I'm saying? Just move on with your life. Be like, I rebuke this in the name of Jesus. I'm not gonna sit here and be confused over my own body.
Confusion is the devil.
Just take control of your body. Take control of your mind. A lot of women talk about how nervous they get. They're like, oh, I'm so anxious, I need to know. Like, don't even, just relax. Like, either the child is there or they ain't. I mean, it's like Schrodinger's box. If any of you are science nerds, you guys know what that means. Like, the cat's in the box, alive, or the cat's dead, or there ain't no cat at all, but you don't know. That's the beauty of life. You don't know until you know. So don't go off of something you don't know. Don't say, I know I'm pregnant. You don't know. Don't say, I know I'm not pregnant. You don't know, because you haven't taken every test that's required to know whether or not you're pregnant. We can go to the doctor tonight. Go take an HCG test. That thing might come out and be like, oh yeah, you're pregnant. But that pregnancy test we saw with our own eyes that we did ourselves said negative. Plenty of people mess up like that. Don't mess up like that. Just relax. Exceed the point at which you've never exceeded.
Trust God.
I would trust God. And personally, I would probably exceed the 7 days or 5 days or however long the longest your period can go. Exceed that. Get past that. And I say that because that's a safe window. If your period just does not show up, and I'm talking however many days your period lasts, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, I don't care. It don't matter. Get through all those days. Get through all of them. Because then for an absolute fact, dude, I did not have my period. That is a pretty clear sign that you might be pregnant.
Or if you get through all 7 or however many days of your cycle and you still can't get a positive test,
go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Don't even play that game. Because some women are, they kind of play around with it. They're like, oh, well, maybe something's going on. I'll just wait. Don't wait. Get it now. Get the answer now.
Because I haven't skipped a period since I was a kid. I started getting periods when I was 9 years old, and I haven't skipped a period since around.
They've been very consistent.
Yeah.
Even by the time she reaches 5 days, that's when my eyebrow gonna go up like this, right? But to be honest with you, I probably won't even talk about scheduling an appointment until it's like 7 days. Like on the 7th day, I would schedule that appointment and be like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on. Because her periods are very regular, and when I say regular, I mean they're really clockwork. I have an app. It's called Flow. I know when it's coming. I know relatively when her ovulation starts. The app literally showed 2 days off, which is very important, mind you. Don't rely on the app, but it was 2 days off. So we tested on one of those days. It was positive on 2 days before the app said it would be. Mm-hmm. So I know you guys are saying, well, if that's the case, then maybe the app is wrong about her period. No, for some reason, her period has been on time every month. So this is no different for me, for her.
Maybe give or take a day.
Maybe give or take a day. But that's why I say get through all 7 of the days, because then there's no question. It passed. It's over for all intents and purposes. So that's pretty much it.
Just stay encouraged.
Yeah, because it's either there or not.
Yep.
If it is there,
if it's God, I mean, it ain't gonna fail.
It ain't gonna fail. You know, if there's a baby there, then congratulations. But you still gonna be working. You still gotta eat anyway. So you still gonna go to work. You still gotta get your stuff done. And if there is no baby there and you start bleeding, you still gotta eat and work and get your stuff done. Life don't stop for either one of those outcomes. So handle your business and just relax. And that's a lesson. That's for me too. I gotta relax too, because sometimes I get my mind wrapped up in it. Like, oh, whatever, dude. If it's there, it's there. If not, then that's from a guy's perspective. That's just how sometimes us guys got to think, because we're thinking, oh, well, I gotta get everything together. No, I don't. God got that. I don't need to get nothing together. I just need to go to work and pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Now, women think about it differently, so I'll let her tell y'all how to think about it, or how you want to strive to think about it, but that's how I see it.
I mean, like I said, I just think, if not, he's still good. And that's kind of how you have to be, where you're at the point where whatever it is, whatever God's will is for you is okay with you, because you have to submit to him. And the longer you try to fight it and say, oh, well, I have to have control, and it has to be this, it has to be that, the less control you're giving God. And life is a lot easier when you just submit to God and just accept what's coming, because the fact of the matter is that you don't know what's gonna happen. We're following God's plan and God's path, which means that we have to submit to him so that we can learn our next step. So the more you try to go your own way, the more you're gonna be going astray.
That actually rhymed. The more you
try to go your own way, the more you go astray.
That's a t-shirt.
So that's kind of how I had to start thinking about it, was that, even if this isn't the month, that's just another month that I have to get myself ready, because that means that, the child that God has for us is going to be special, and, they're going to need special parents. So we got to use this time to prepare ourselves, this time to get ourselves ready, because the fact of the matter is that's what this time is for, is your preparation period. And if you spend all of your preparation period being depressed, then you're not prepared.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is, it's almost like, it's almost like worrying every day. Like, for example, I'm just going to give a very, very bland example. It's not as big as a baby, but it's like thinking every day, oh my God, am I going to get fired from my job? Is it going to be today? Is it like you walk into your job thinking it might be today? This might be it. Okay. Then you walk out of your job like, okay, it wasn't today, but it might be tomorrow. Like, that is a terrible way to live. And if you live your life like, those 7 days.
Always waiting for the shoe to drop.
Right. Like, oh my God, am I pregnant today? I know women who have done 2 pregnancy tests per day in the 7-day period. That's a lot. And they end up getting a period, their period ends up starting on like the 4th day. And now they're, they feel like crap because they're like, oh my God, I wasted all that money. But it's just like, yo, chill. Like, just relax. It ain't that big of a deal. Now, you see this video right now. We're making this video right now. Next Friday, you might get a video where we're acting all secretive because she actually might have been pregnant. But you might have a video next Friday where she might not be. And we're talking about that. But guess what? I don't know. She doesn't know. You ain't gonna know either until that day comes. And that's just the way it is. So it's like, because we don't know the future, I don't live in the future. I live in right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, that pregnancy test said negative. Right now, she's only 3 or 4 days into it. Right now, there's still a possibility she can start at any time. Therefore, I do not focus on it. I focus on things that I do see that are happening. That's where my life is. I focus on God and what he's doing right now, not what he's going to be doing later. Because the scriptures say, do not worry about tomorrow. That's already taken care of. That was a paraphrase, but you understand.
Amen. Anyway, y'all, let me get back to bed.
It's 6 a.m.
I gotta go to work.
I don't know how she could. What happened last night was, I was like, hey, I'll do a pregnancy test for you. Like, I usually do. Because I'm the chemist around there. So she was like, okay, cool. I want to do a video about it. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't realize how it's freaking 6 a.m. We're doing a video about this.
First morning's urine. Anyway, let me get some first morning sleep. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for whatever is coming next in our next video.
Because we don't know. Neither do you. So.
But anyway, so y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Stay encouraged. Keep God first. Remember that if not, he is still good. So y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. See y'all next time.
Love you.
Yeah, love you.
So